Hey everyone, and welcome to Getting Real with the Housewives. Lots of big news to get to this week, so let's get right into it, starting with Denise Richards. And it seems like she is returning to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Rejoice, everybody. On August 2nd, she was spotted filming season 15 scenes with Erica and Sutton at Los Angeles hotspot Madre, and this is according to photos that were obtained by TMZ. Now, it's still unclear whether she's reclaiming a diamond or making another guest appearance like she did in season 13, but we are here for it. Her return comes just weeks after filing from divorce in July from Aaron, requesting a temporary restraining order, which, of course, he denied, but as we know, she recently started her own reality TV show that is not coming back. So it seems like maybe Denise is making a return to Housewives. She's definitely got a big story to share, and we are definitely seated for this. I think it's going to be a great return. She's obviously very close friends with Erica. She's close friends with Sutton. And I feel like this is just a good platform for her. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Moving on over to Andy Cohen and Carol Roswell. This is a reunion that I don't think anybody saw coming, but the Bravo fans are still buzzing about it, including myself. On the August 4th episode of Watch What Happens Live, Andy revealed the former Roni star as his mystery guest after teasing the audience with clues. He said, "It's Carol Roswell," and making a triumphant return. He embraced her, a hug that we never thought we would see coming either, given their history. So Carol shared that she occasionally sees Dorinda, meets up with Heather Thompson in the Berkshires, and even bumped into Ramona and Luann recently, saying, "I don't remember. Do we hate each other? Do we not? It's like I'm on the show again." I mean, bring these ladies back. She wrote on Instagram, "Honestly, it was so fun to be in that crazy clubhouse. The hug was the best part. No other reunions or appearances are planned as of right now, but it marked this reconciliation." So the two of them, a little backstory, the two of them had a fallout in 2018 at the reunion. Carol confirmed, "Andy and I are very much on the same page now, and I'm happy about that." So there was a lot of going back and forth for years. She had, talked anonymously negatively about the show. So a lot of people never saw this reunion coming. But like I said, so many people are so invested in our OG Ronies. Bring them back in some capacity. We want to see Ramona. We want to see Luann. We want to see Carol all come together again. So hopefully maybe this is a step in the right direction. All right. Well, Teddi Mellencamp is opening up like never before. During an emotional interview on the Jamie Kern-Lima show, the former Housewives star alluded to her affair with horse trainer Simon Schroeder, a relationship confirmed in late 2024, months before her split from her husband, Edwin. She said, "I've never talked about it just because of the kids." She said, "Did I do things that hurt people? Yes." And she even questioned if her past choices somehow triggered her cancer diagnosis, saying, "It was my payback. Nothing goes without payment." As we know, she was diagnosed with melanoma in 2022, which has since spread to her brain and her lungs. While she and Edwin, who also had a past affair, remain separated, their divorce is currently on hold as she continues treatment. She reflected on the fallout, saying, "So many people are hurt in the wreckage, but the wreckage doesn't happen on its own." Despite the pain, she's focused on healing, focused on herself, focused on her family. I mean, this is the first time that she's ever really spoken about this chapter in her life. It's hard to hear her think that that her cancer is a payback for that. She talked about Edwin having his own affair and how she begged him to come back at that point in her marriage. She's going through a lot right now, but you have to give it to Teddi. She is always honest, she is always open, and she's always putting it all out there. All right, well, this season of Miami is off to a fiery start, and Julia has seen some high highs and some very low lows. Well, we caught up with her recently as she reflected on the celebration of life and the text messages seen around the world. Take a look. Watching back the episodes and seeing how everything transpired at the celebration of life and how the text messages came about and how it was almost like kind of like a spur of the moment type of thing. Right?
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't. But did it change your mind about anything watching that episode? Or did it even hurt you even more?
Different. You see, I consider myself quite humble person. I don't make things about myself. And when I saw those messages, the first thoughts that came to me, I was thinking that, how is it even possible? I was looking at all the people, because I feel Gertie misled the group of cancer survivors who came to support her. And she used it, but in fact it was all a lie, because she used them and the event for her very strange kind of revenge and for her ego. This was not the time, this was not the place. It was very wrong.
Yeah. So you think that going into it, she always had this kind of in the back of her mind?
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
premeditated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she asked her husband and the kids to leave.
Sure.
I mean, it took a lot of planning to put the messages on this big screen and for the people to see. And when I went back, and as you saw last night in the episode, and I told her, Gertie, why did you do this? It wasn't even about myself. I was thinking like all the people, and she dismissed me. She asked me to leave. She said it's her event and her rules. Yeah. So it just showed me the type of character she is and who she is as a person. I feel like the Gertie I've met, it's just not the same person anymore.
Yeah.
You know, she used to plan parties, and now she plans takedowns. Yeah. And I'm not interested in either.
Can't imagine that those two getting back on track anytime soon. All right, well, Kim Zolciak is responding to her daughter Ariana's emotional claim that her parents took her money, and she's owning up to it. She's not denying it at all. So she said on a recent appearance of Watch What Happens Live that she used the money from Ariana to pay off bills when the family was in crisis. She said the rug was pulled out from the Zolciaks. Ariana's money was spent on bills. I was left holding the bag. She also confessed that Brielle pitched in too, saying that she paid an electric bill here and there, and that she has since paid Ariana back for at least some of the money, saying that she will be paid back in full. Now, Ariana shared on Next Gen NYC that she discovered the missing funds only 2 years ago, saying nobody was honest, there was no transparency, but she did say that she has reconciled with Kim. She told us that as well. She said money should never ruin a relationship with your family. I have my mom, and that's all that matters. I mean, sometimes desperate times go for desperate measures, but I feel like if Kim was at least honest about this and talked to her about it, maybe they could have avoided some of this tension between them, but it seems like they're back on track. She's trying to pay her back. Kim is dating somebody else, so she seems like she's taking some good steps forward in her own life. All right, well, I probably wouldn't want to be Kody on this sophomore season of OC, and because this is off to a rocky start. She's meeting with bloggers, she filmed Shannon, talking to Emily's nanny. Well, we caught up with Kody, who told us her side of what went down with Shannon and if she sees a path forward. And we have to talk about the Shannon of it all.
Okay.
You know, obviously you recorded her during the photo call and things like that. And, you know, there's some conflicting stories. You were on a Zoom call, then you were on with your husband. What walk me through that timeline of that day?
Sure. I was on a Zoom call for my business. My husband works with my business, so he was on the Zoom call.
Got it.
I was sitting in the makeup chair. We were in a shared space, me, Jen, and our makeup team, and Bravo Digital, Bravo PR, and Shannon came in very late on a speakerphone. And I had to abruptly end my call because it was so loud. It was even in my earpods. And my husband said, "What happened?" And I said, "This is what happened." And I voice noted him something and sent it to my husband. About a month later, I went to lunch with Alexis and Jen, and we were discussing the day, as you do, and we were all saying, Shannon's behavior was a little bit erratic, and it was everyone was talking about it on the set. And I said, "Oh my gosh, it was so crazy." I sent Matt a voice note of it. So we talked about it. It was never shared. It was never played. It was the three of us at lunch, and that was that.
Yeah. Now, how come Alexis told Heather that it was played? I think that's kind of maybe the disconnect too.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know her motive behind saying that because I never played it for her.
Sure.
I didn't even play it for my best friend. The only person that heard it is my husband, and he doesn't even remember what it says.
Why do you think Alexis said that? Or have you tried to get those answers from her at all?
No, I feel like you're playing a dangerous game with somebody who is now not in the group and going back and saying, why this, why this, why this? I'm going to let it go with her for right now.
I feel like Shannon is going to hold on to this for quite some time. All right, we're wrapping it up with some New Jersey news, and Andy may be ready to spill some details. Very excited about this one. He said during Watch What Happens Live, when Matt Rogers was voicing his concerns about jerseys, he says, "I don't think so, honey," demanding answers. He said, "We need to know what is happening with the women of New Jersey. I miss my girls. I want my jersey back." He even suggested that Jersey move forward without Teresa Giudice, giving her and Louis their own show instead. Andy was clearly amused, turning around his chair, but didn't leave fans totally hanging. He teased, "We're close." So something is finally in the works after it's been on pause since August of 2024. So it's been a while. It's been a minute. We are no closer. I mean, we are a little bit closer to having answers. I know Dorinda told us recently that it would be scary if they didn't know what was happening in Jersey by BravoCon. So that is in November. So hopefully we get some answers sometime soon. I know that there was, Melissa commented on somebody's Instagram where they reported that Melissa and Teresa would be coming to the table, willing to film together. She said that that was fake news. So I don't know. I don't know what the future of Jersey looks like. I would love to know what you think in the comments. So please let me know what would be your dream Jersey casting. All right. Well, that is it for this week's episode of Getting Real with the Housewives. Like I said, keep commenting, keep subscribing, and I'll see you next week.